Hi. Welcome to Honest Trailer Commentaries. Not sure what that noise was, but I am sure of today's movie, Wild Wild West. Wiki Wild. This is the show where we talk about the Honest Trailer, which is on another channel. And if you stick around to the end, there's some deleted scenes. But first, I've got a Wiki Wild announcement. This show's going to Screen Junkies, the Screen Junkies channel, starting next week.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, why don't the shows that are about that show be on the same channel? No one told me how to message this, so I'm just gonna wing it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening, right?
Well, the big thing is moving to the Screen Junkies channel,
Yes.
and it's going to be a day after the Honest Trailer because we want to be able to see what you think about it.
Yes.
And then include that in the comments.
We actually really enjoyed the MCU one where we were able to, as they say, clap back at the haters. We get to see, we get about 12 to 24 hours to for you to get your comments in on the Honest Trailer itself, and then Wednesday morning we'll be on Screen Junkies and we'll do this show, but also be able to respond to what the audience has thought about it and all the things we miss every week. Thank you so much for reminding us constantly of all of our failures.
So if you want more beautiful moments like the time that you were very angry that the prequel to World War II joke didn't land.
We don't need to get into that now. What we're here to talk about is Wild Wild West. I feel like last week, or was it the week before, we did Waterworld, and it was that's actually got some fun redeeming qualities. This movie, not so much.
No,
this sucked.
it was a bad movie.
I know Billy Business, our own Billy Business, likes it. I wish he was here to defend it somehow. But I can't imagine what he would bring up.
I do.
Spiders?
I know what he would bring,
Okay.
because it's something that as I was watching it, he would be like, "How do you not find that funny?" He thinks that the bongoing on the booby scene and the subsequent trying to hang Will Smith scene is the funniest thing he's ever seen.
Wow. Okay. Well,
He
let's
loves
take
it.
this into another video, or maybe just The Office, because this is not a fun or funny movie. This is a dark, twisted, perverted take on what I assume was a fun old-timey TV show. People who have watched it are huge fans of the original Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it's like Maverick.
It's like James Bond in the Old West.
Yeah.
Did it have sci-fi elements?
Were you referencing Mel
Yeah.
Gibson's Maverick?
Yes, it's like it's a Western movie that then people are like, oh, that was a TV show? Yes, it was.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Maverick was a television show.
Oh.
James Garner is playing his character from Maverick in the movie Maverick. That's the twist, is you think it's a remake, but it's actually a continuation of the TV show Maverick.
That twist is just as dumb as this movie's twist, where Salma Hayek's husband was actually her father, or the other way around.
So
It didn't make sense. None of it didn't matter.
I love that when she reveals that, Will Smith is basically commenting on the script, and he's like, could have just said that.
Could have just told us that at any point.
Would have been fine. We would have helped.
But then we wouldn't have gotten to see her butt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They wanted to put a girl in the
would they
movie and
have-
on a poster.
I think having a husband or a dad, either way, the butt flap of those PJs could comically fall down.
Yeah, that's definitely. We was always gonna see that butt.
What else? Will Smith's in the movie. He tries it first. I feel like gives up. If you chart his accent, he stops trying about halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much for him to do.
I think that this is one of those ones where they were depending on him to put some Will Smith on it to make a lot of these jokes funny. And after a while, he was like, "Or you guys could just write me jokes. I'm just gonna say the things that are on the screen."
This movie's the clear delineation line between fun Will Smith and movie actor Will Smith. I feel like Wild Wild West, in many ways, killed fun Will Smith forever. Wow. And ever since then, it's been movie actor Will Smith, which is
Okay.
not bad. I like movie actor Will Smith, but I
Sometimes.
also liked fun Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's running back to the open arms of the Bad Boys franchise because he spent
True.
too much time in Serious Actor Island.
Yeah. Aladdin was fun Will Smith, by the way.
Okay.
I thought Aladdin was fun Will Smith.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
This
why
is
it's doing
not
so
fun
well.
Will Smith though. It's slapstick and it's really camp, but
this is him
he's
dying slowly on the inside.
Yeah, but I think he's trying to be like more of an edge, be more of a badass in this movie, and the movie's just not there to serve that.
You don't think that cowboy costume is hard ass?
I love a good vest naval combination.
I
Just
like
an
what
open
everyone
vest.
thought was cool in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like wrestlers were wearing fanny packs with their t-shirts tucked into their jeans, and Will Smith was wearing a vest with no shirt.
I felt bad for him all over again because I probably haven't seen it since 20 years ago when this movie came out. But it reminded me of watching Men in Black International this year, where it's like anytime I see a very charismatic actor trying as hard as they can but being failed by every other aspect of the movie, it's very sad.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Kline and Will Smith are doing their best.
Yeah.
They're trying.
Will Smith learned to ride a horse. He learned all those weird gun tricks. He really tried for this movie.
Yes.
This movie failed everyone. It failed Will Smith fans. It failed fans of Westerns. This is one of the only movies steampunk enthusiasts get to hang on to, and that's very depressing. Yeah.
The disabled. No, keep going.
Yeah.
For sure.
The history of race in America.
Yeah.
Women, obviously.
Yeah.
Fans of the Confederacy.
And the Union, or fans of President
Both
Grant.
sides of the Civil War, strangely.
Enthusiasts.
Presidential historians.
Yeah.
People who like trains.
Trains.
Yeah.
But not John Peters, because he got his
No.
He
spider.
got his spider. He got his spider.
This is like a Make-A-Wish.
on trains.
This movie is like a Make-A-Wish for John Peters. It's like he probably said to someone he was gonna die, so they better put the giant spider in this movie.
It's now or never.
It's now or never. This is what we get. Let's watch it, shall we? There's surprisingly very little to say about it, except it sucks. But
You can't do that over and over.
We squoze 5 minutes of comedy out of it.
This
anyways.
was a big reason why we did Blockbuster Summer.
Yeah.
Was to do this movie.
This summer,
excuse.
we're getting honest about summer blockbusters, past and present. This is Honest Trailers, Blockbuster Summer. From a director at the height of his powers, the biggest movie star on the planet, and an untapped source material with an original premise, comes a cinematic faceplant into a steaming pile of horseshit. Will Smith passed on The Matrix for this, you guys.
Sorry.
Pause. So there's a great video of Will Smith just talking to camera about his reasons for passing on The Matrix, and it's great, and it like kind of makes sense at the time. In retrospect, you should have done that one instead. But he talks about the Wachowskis coming to him and being like, "So, dude, you're gonna like be in a computer and you're gonna jump and kick someone, but like we're gonna see the whole jump before you kick somebody." And he's like, okay.
Or I could go work with this guy that I made Men in Black.
Yeah, it's like,
and
or I
make
could
$20
make
million.
Wild Wild West Men in Black. And it was going to be Will Smith with Val Kilmer as Morpheus.
That's so weird.
That's the original because he couldn't have two black people in a movie. It had to.
Yeah.
It was going to be Val Kilmer was going to be the.
Oh, but just
The
Will
Lawrence
Smith
Fishburne role.
stepping onto the Nebuchadnezzar and Val Kilmer being like, shoes, like in MacGruber would have been beautiful.
Yeah, so-
Wow.
Man.
Weird alternate history, right?
What could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the Last Action Hero version of something.
Now,
Where
would Keanu have been Will Smith in Wild Wild West? Because that might have made it a better movie.
I don't want to see that.
Whoa, whoa, West.
Whoa, West.
Still just Kevin Kline, though.
And what would the Matrix rap have been?
Smith, John Smith. Call me Neo. No, wait, Anderson. Sorry. Whatever. We'll figure that out later.
We'll get
Let's
there.
keep going.
Wiki Wiki, Wild Wild West.
Great opening credits and great
Giddy
music in
up
this
for the
movie.
best movie where a former runaway slave turned cowboy teams up with an upper crust white guy
found so
who
many of
invents
these.
a gun
Yeah.
that pops out of his sleeve as they face off against a flamboyant, wealthy, racist Southern villain. Okay, second best.
So
but what's
pause.
easy?
I think this started as. It was like a game. It was like an improv game.
Yeah.
Where like I think I first said like this movie's a lot like Django Unchained,
Yes.
and then everyone took their turns going around the room, turning in their chairs and going, "This movie's a lot like this too." And then like, wait, this movie's also a lot like this one.
In
It's
weirdly
bizarre.
specific ways.
Very
It's not- 'cause
oddly
You
specific.
can generalize anything to be like, oh, well, it's a buddy cop old West movie. And like,
Yeah.
sure, there's 15 of those that fit the bill. When you start getting into, as we'll see shortly, like that their home base is a mechanical train and their it came out July 4th weekend and like the
David Day.
The
Yeah.
similarities kept piling up.
And the fun writers group thing, I think, was you had the Django point, but we were like trying to wrestle with, is that a run? Like, can it be its own run, or is it just a quick starring gag? But then, as those all started to come out, it became a run for the whole trailer, which is kind of fun.
So many things. I think we left a few out too. So write us your own if you can think of any.
Yeah.
But keep going.
Okay, second best. But what's easily the best sci-fi comedy of the 90s about a mad scientist in the Old West whose base camp is a high-tech train? Oh, forgot about that one. Okay, well, it's definitely the best Barry Sonnenfeld-directed sci-fi comedy buddy movie where Will
Joe,
Smith
you like
teams
those
up with an
people
older
hiding
white
in the
co-star to
portraits?
play government
Blew my
agents
mind.
'Cause you like to
that
think
ends
about
with them
how long
fighting
they
a giant
spent standing there
arthropod that
before-
came
Pause.
out.
They'll yell at us for talking over it anyway. Yeah. Let's talk about Joe's fascination with the painting people.
What is the point of that? Like, you're paying these guys to stand very still in these paintings.
Like 4 of them.
4 of them!
In oil paintings.
All the time!
There had to be rehearsals for that.
Just in case. Auditions.
Yeah.
Like, how many guys did they go through before he was like, these are the guys that can stand still in the painting? I'm assuming they have to go through makeup every morning because they all look oil painty.
Yeah, you have to go flat.
Just in case.
Well, you're also. Jim West can't look at the painting from
From
anything
any
but the
angle.
front either, because otherwise the jig is up.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is. It's a risky gamble.
Yes.
Also,
Why they were doing that painting?
I want to see the side movie about this home security salesman that sold Loveless
Yeah.
that system.
I mean, they
Just
do
like,
this.
it's foolproof.
In like not Nantucket. It's in Southern California. They do what's called the Pageant of the Masters.
It was on Gilmore Girls once.
Well, there you go.
also
Where-
on Arrested Development.
yeah, well, people train all year to look like an oil painting, and it's like a whole thing where people are doing makeup and from multiple angles and stuff like that. Also, they could have just gotten like a curtain and had an assassin hide behind that.
Stand behind
Like,
it.
just bring Will Smith into this room. I'll hide behind the door and shoot him in the back of the head. It's like, no.
It's such a
Not
throwaway
clever
thing.
enough. That's an idea.
Like, it looks kind of cool, but it's such a throwaway thing. It's in like one wide shot in the
Yeah.
background. You can
Yes.
easily
Yeah.
miss it. It's like, at least feature it. If you're gonna
Yes.
do it, feature it.
Yeah.
Right?
Wasn't that a running gag in some movie recently where it was like the best part of the movie? It wasn't Spy.
No,
it was something like that.
Yeah, you're right. It was
like Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle, and he was camouflaged, and he kept stepping out of things. Oh my God! And you're right. And it was the best part of the movie every time, and it was funny. Oh my
It was
God!
an otherwise bad movie.
Yes, you're right.
You tell us in the comments below. What movie is Rob Riggle camouflaged,
remember.
stepping out in an otherwise unfunny film?
But he's also not an art-themed villain. You'd think it would just mechanical arms would come out of the desk and go, ah!
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Oh my
it
God!
really bothered me.
I can't wait for the comments. I'm gonna look it up while we're
Tip of
talking.
your tongue. Okay, keep going.
Out on July 4th weekend? Oh, come on! Meet Jim West and Artemis Gordon, the serious straight shooter and the wacky sidekick. But they never settle on which one is which. Will Smith shines as a guy in a
you find
cowboy
it, Dan?
stripper outfit who gives up on his accent halfway through the movie.
That'd be an awful career decision, darling. We'd be getting there a lot faster if you weren't dragging that thing around.
And Kevin Kline shines as the guy standing next to Will Smith. Yep, there he is. There he is again! Kevin, you are nailing this! They'll team up to take down the evil Dr. Lovelace, a racist,
So yeah,
fascist
pause. I
mad
think we
scientist
kind of glossed
trying to
past that, but we were saying that one of them needs to be the Tommy Lee Jones of this duo. One of them needs to be the K to the J. And I think neither of them fully committed to being either J or K in this one.
Yeah, they were clearly like, Kevin Kline's an actor,
Yeah.
so they were trying to give him things to do with all of like the crazy characters, and because it's enough for him to just be the inventor. Why does he also have to dress up and be in drag?
So that he can play the president
Yeah,
also?
yeah,
Yes.
that's it. And
Yeah.
why does he have to be the president? Like, it's just to give Kevin Kline stuff to
This stuff, because
do.
otherwise he's just the inventor, but they're like, okay, so you're also horny? That's something.
We didn't ask this question.
Oh, I thought you had the movie.
I do. Is it Dumb and Dumber 2?
Yes.
I think it's Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yes.
So we got that problem solved. New question. Is he a virgin?
Yes.
I
Yes.
posed this
Yeah.
question. He doesn't know what... He's
boob
like
feels
Steve
like.
Carell in 40
Yeah.
Year Old. He does not know what boobs feel like.
Yeah.
I think my
So-
pitch was going to be like, did Steve Carell's character from that movie write this? 'Cause with the bags of
But
sand.
Steve Carell's
Yeah.
Sand,
a
yeah.
sweet man. Kevin Kline is a...
Did his friends from that movie write this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's Artemis may have been a virgin.
I think so.
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
I'm not casting aspersions. It's just a subtext
fine.
in the movie.
Yeah, it's a perfectly fine choice, or not choice, but he is horny.
I mean,
Very.
not only is he like, I don't think he's even seen, like a daguerreotype of a woman's body. He's never seen like a sketch of what a naked woman looks like.
It was, the 18-somethings, and like an ankle, would have you changing your chaps, back then. You get a glimpse of that sweet, sweet ank.
Ooh, I love them anks.
Hot Hanks.
I'm an ank man.
Are you a wrist man or an ank man?
But you could almost cut out Will Smith, and this is like a Leslie Nielsen spy movie where he's just like a weird Inspector Gadget,
Yeah.
Yes.
goofy Magoo character.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
it stinks. Keep going.
It stinks.
This is a bad
A
movie.
racist, fascist, mad scientist trying to overthrow the government. But that won't stop our heroes from really
Wait,
taking
pause.
him
Go back to that
task.
map for a second.
Yes.
If you are going to carve up America,
Yeah.
why would you give yourself, I'm sorry, no offense, the Pacific Northwest,
He likes rain.
Wyoming,
And the Badlands. He's a man of extremes.
It's your plan. You can take the pick of the litter of all the continental United States. And you're like,
I will say, like, if your whole thing is you love big mechanical spiders, you're probably not going to want to be in one of the wettest places where it could rain at any moment on
yeah,
your big
the
mechanical
rust
spider.
alone,
Yeah.
that thing's going to be under a tarp 10 months out of the year. I will say that I think the Pacific Northwest is actually the steal of that U.S. states draft. It's the rest of it that, I mean, Minnesota, it's cold, it's flat. What are you doing, man?
Well, the French love Minnesota. I think that
Okay.
was the deal breaker. There's one thing I know about the French. Sure. It's that Minnesota is the crown jewel of the would-be French Empire.
Okay.
That's true. I've
Well
read that.
known. Anyways, that's what Honest Trailers commentary is all about. These gems. Keep going.
Government. But that won't stop our heroes from really taking him to task for being disabled.
Well, I can see where it'd be difficult for a man of your stature to keep in touch with even half the people you know. Crazy beard about your height, seen him? Actually, I was thinking
Got
maybe
him.
I'd stuff your little half a ass in one of these cannons and fertilize the landscape with you.
That's all you're gonna roast him for?
Well, when a fella comes back from the dead, I find that an occasion to stand up. We got a lovely little half a jail cell picked out for you.
What, did a wheelchair kill your father or something?
I guess when it comes right down to it, you just can't beat a good old-fashioned pair of legs.
So they
They just gave up. They just gave up. At least the other ones were puns.
It's outright mockery.
I have legs and you
Yeah,
don't.
he exhausted to the way she's like, I'm just gonna pat my legs.
Slapping his
Legs.
To illustrate his having of legs, he's slapping them. As if to
Insulted
drive
him so
home
much.
the joke that he has legs. And the other guy lost them in a war. A misguided war, mind you, but it's still a war veteran wound. It's not like he was born that way. It's just a mess all the way
It's
down.
a mess.
It felt like a placeholder in the sense of like, and we'll get to the yelling too, but like there's the scene with this projection thing where like they wrote the line, that is a man's head.
And it just keeps
And you can tell in the
finding it.
script they were like, okay, for now we're just gonna. This is a placeholder because he's gonna come up with some other funny stuff to say. But in the final cut of the movie, it just cuts back to Will Smith. It just says slower every time. that
is
is
a
a man's
man's
head, which is not funny.
It's not funny, and I'm wondering if again that's another one where they're like, well, he'll put some Will stank on it,
Yeah.
and he doesn't even do a voice. He just says it slower, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be like, it's funny because he
also-
can't figure it out.
This is a man who is, again, who cares? But because this movie's awful. But like, this is a man who shoots people to death all the time.
An
like,
escaped slave who's like
Yeah.
raised amongst the Native Americans.
he's seen some
he's
stuff.
killed a lot
Yeah.
of people in his life.
But
Yeah.
never a man's head.
Now,
man.
if they had made him Kay is Tommy Lee Jones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if they had made him like the younger Kay, and President Grant's like, you're gonna go work with this crazy Inspector Gadget guy, and he's just completely straight-laced him. Okay, that I get weird little interactions like that, but like, yeah, it's a dude's head in a jar. You're a cowboy secret agent in the Wild West.
You take a dump in the sand. Like, you don't have the same conventions that the rest of us do.
Yeah.
He was like boiling up a wombat or whatever that was.
Yeah.
It's a rough and tumble time.
Young Will Smith in this movie would have eaten that head if it came down to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is the most chaotic, least comfortable time in American history. I'm not saying it wouldn't be disturbing, but he's acting like he didn't grow up with a pampered lifestyle.
No, far from it.
No.
Now, Artemis, I could see.
Right.
If Will Smith brings in a severed man's head and he's like, that is a man's
Use this.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's this thing that they can't figure out who's who.
No.
They don't know who's who.
Guys, this is a bad movie, I think.
I think it's not
That's
good.
not good.
It's ill-formed.
Yeah.
Curious.
Wants to bring back slavery. Gonna ding him for that at all?
Well, you know, beautiful women, they encourage you one minute and cut the legs out from under you the next.
Nope, just the leg jokes. Okay, cool.
I'm just as stumped as you are.
And also,
To the end.
there's a lady.
So
Yep.
impetuous.
I know that seems tacked on, but so is she.
He's so courageous. Oh, he's so graceful.
Return to a
That's
time
it.
That's it.
when
That's what
America
she does.
had to confront the most shameful issue of American history. Boners. Because this movie is so horny that when it's not showing you its horny gadgets,
Touch them.
it's constantly trying to show you its dick. Its dick.
Long and
Its diminishing
steely.
returns on all the lazy sex jokes.
By the way, boobies look great tonight, nice and perky.
So many.
She's a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
Who's
God.
this? My creepy
That whole
uncle?
run.
I have
hurts.
them square in my sights, sire.
As do I, ammunition.
Yes,
Buttocks and the swell of that magnificent.
It's
It's like this was
So
written
full,
as a
so
porn parody
sumptuous.
for the movie, and then the scripts got mixed up.
That's true.
Breath of fresh ass.
This is Wild
Why
Wild
is this
Breast.
movie
Yes,
so
this is-
horny?
They sent him the wrong copy of the script.
So saddle up for a film so disappointing.
Pause.
Yes, he is making goose noises at or little dog noises, I guess.
Also, what is that violent dance he's doing for Loveless when he's dressed as a lady? Like, is that what Jim West thinks sexy is? If he's trying to distract Loveless?
Do you think that was his demo reel for the genie?
Man.
Yes.
Is that how
It
Disney
worked.
knew he could pull it off? Oh man, yeah. This movie, that was our big takeaway. I think all of us at this table was how unrepentantly horny this film was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the jokes are sex jokes,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
or having no legs jokes.
Well, because the way that this worked was that the first time they sent this to audiences, the feedback they got was that they didn't know it was a comedy. So then they had someone come in and do another pass, as what I have been referring to as the horny pass.
Yeah.
Because my guess is they just added in a bunch of sex jokes.
Yep.
Because like maybe a couple things were horny, and they're like, oh, we'll just really lean into that.
Yeah.
The audience didn't know it was a comedy?
Yeah.
a producer's like 14-year-old son came in and did nothing. What if he looked at her butt?
I guess if you cut out every joke, if you cut out all the horny jokes, which is every joke, then it's just a really serious movie about a guy who hates the disabled. So I could see audiences coming away from it.
Racists versus a guy who hates the disabled.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Everyone wins.
Shades of Grey kind of anti-hero movie.
Yeah, I guess it kind of. It's. I imagine this movie coming out today.
No.
Just imagine
No.
it.
Oh,
Just
man.
think about it.
I mean, it would just be instantly roasted from,
Every
the first
conceivable
trailer.
angle.
Yeah. But it wouldn't do well enough to really be in part of people's consciousness for more than a week. Like,
No.
this would just come and go and be like, wow, that was weird. Which I think it did. I don't think it'd be too different.
I mean, but it was like a huge thing. I mean, this was another Men in Black
Right.
type cultural event. Songs,
Yes.
Yeah.
fast food tie-ins, like
Yeah.
the build up. This was the movie of the summer. I mean,
The prequel of music video.
Yes.
Yeah, the music video does have extended footage that didn't make it into the film. It's actually a sequel music video.
Oh, it's a sequel. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because Salma Hayek's like, I've been having dreams about Loveless, and then he's back, and then and kidnaps her from a room that a seductive den that Will Smith has built for the two of them with. maybe 200 candles. It looks like the inside of like a Catholic church. After a lot of those devotional things have been like, it is wall to wall candle, and actual spiders pop out. Anyways, go.
Only Cisco and Drew Hill can say that.
Will Smith is doing a much better job of acting. In the extended Wild Wild West, he actually looks like he's having fun.
Yeah, he is.
Well, it's because the good name of Will Smith, his musical career is on the line.
Yeah.
Plus, Cisco's there just having fun.
Everyone's wearing
everybody's
chaps.
Everybody's just having a party.
And the rest of Drew Hill is in the background, which, by the way, because they hated having to be in the background for Cisco, at least one member of Drew Hill quit because of the Wild Wild West movie or video. Yeah, because they were like,
well, one of them, I assume, is the guy who says Wild Wild West.
No, that is, I believe that's Kumo D.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an older rapper. Because
Well,
I think he wants it a Wild Wild West song.
Then what is Drew Hill's contribution to the song?
It's going straight.
No, that's Cisco.
Cisco is Drew Hill. That was his original band. Oh. And then he became the breakout star with Thong Song.
See, the late
and it all fell apart.
The late 90s and early 2000s have merged into one conglomerate gooey mess in my head.
Cisco was the early Beyonce.
Yeah, of Drew Hill. Wow.
Yeah.
The more you know. Oh, that's again.
See, Cisco is such a shining star. I never even realized he was part of a group.
See,
he's only ever been Cisco to me.
And that's why the other Drew Hill quit. Because of you, Dan.
It's the kind of content the other channel's gonna love. All right, let's keep playing.
So saddle up for a film so disappointing that its only legacy is 5 Razzies. One great Kevin Smith anecdote.
So anyway, I'm going to meet John Peters. He's like, I got some directives for you. He's got to fight a giant spider in the third act.
And the accidental career resurgence of Keanu Reeves. But hey, at least it's the best Kevin Kline movie where he impersonates the president. Really? The best sci-fi western with an anachronistic theme song? You gotta be kidding me. The best movie where Will Smith fights a redneck in the engine room of a mechanical spider?
I learned that from a Chinaman.
That's called making the most out of what you got.
No small parts.
No? Whew. Nailed it. Starring hee-haw. Inspector Gadgets. Damsel out of distress. Shouldn't this be a Spider-Man villain? DJ EARHORN.
I love how that
When
matches.
you were partying, I study the blades. And Will Smith trying to make a line funnier by yelling it.
This is not the way you transport nitro!
Just a
Stop
statement.
the train! Stop smelling good!
Just a request. A dude's name?
Gordon!
A dude's name.
Yeah, many times. This is a summer thing, is that they try to make volume funny.
That is not how jokes work! The not very good, the bad, and the somehow even worse.
Good job, Holtby, fitting that in too.
Yeah.
Thanks,
There's a
Robert.
little part of me wishes John Peters didn't get to force the giant spider into this movie and had to put it in one of his others, like A Star Is Born.
I'd watch that.
I would still watch that.
We're going. We're running it again. Actually,
more
let's
time.
go right into deleted
Let's go right
scenes.
into deleted scenes.
No, we're not. Oh, yep.
Starring Will Nas X. I want a Will with a big hat and some small.
We're gonna get this joke into a trailer
glasses.
somewhere.
Big
Well,
Willie
no,
the
we
Kid.
did. Doctor Who.
There's
Did
a
we?
shank
With
in my
George
boot.
skirt and something like that.
I'm going to be a master of disguise. I'm going to be a master of disguise.
Dr. Emmett Clown. Klein, stop this crazy thing.
What's that from?
That's
Jeff
Jane.
Shimano. Once upon a time in Mexico, you'd prefer to forget. Iron Manic. Spider Ham. Peterless Parker. The Amazing Racist.
Now we're doing it.
Deep South. Gilderoy
These are why they're cut.
Schlockhart.
Yeah.
Trainiac.
This is another one where I was just
Edward
like, guys, we gotta
Scissorhands,
cut this down.
Buffalo Bill Soldier. And look at this phonograph.
You're supposed to do that like Nickelback.
Look at this phonograph.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Far From Homey.
Is that just from movie fights?
You know, Will Smith was really ahead of the curve on this one. Will yeed so Lil Nas X could haul.
Yes, he did.
Yes. So during movie fights, I'd already had that written. And during movie fights, when you said that, I turned to Lon and I was like, that's actually in the starring that I just sent over.
That's bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah.
Synchronicity. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
When I saw the script, I didn't see that it said phonograph. I thought it was photograph, and I thought it was about the guys in the paintings on the wall.
Look at these photographs.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, gosh, have we said all there is to say about Wild Wild West?
I think we have.
We could talk more about the song. I think we did. It's a good video. You have to watch the uncut one, which I think is only on like Daily Motion or something like that.
Probably. That's where those live now.
Yeah, the extended cut is only there.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was a very regrettable moment in Will Smith's career. I think he realized it. I think we realize it. But I'm glad it happened because it would have ruined The Matrix.
Much like the movie Wild Wild West, I expected this to be much more fun than it actually was. It's really just kind of sad as it unfolded.
And you know what? If people are looking for remakes, why not remake things that didn't work like this and try to make it better? You know?
Yeah.
Remake this. Remake Waterworld. Sign my petition.
Yep.
Change.org.
Season 8 of Game of Thrones and The Last Jedi and my dad.
And just to follow up real quick, our theory on how to fix Waterworld, very correct, because I saw the stunt show for the very first time this weekend, and it's the best.
Yes.
Right?
Is
it
not?
It's
so
awesome.
good. It's worth the movie existing for that to exist.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Yeah, so we were right. Yep.
Did you sit in the splash zone?
Oh, yeah, very splashed. Yeah. Splished even.
The Splash stunt show is even better. Universal Studios Japan.
There's just two people falling
Very erotic.
around.
It's odd. It's very odd.
Anyways, that's our commentary for this week. Come back next week on the Screen Junkies YouTube channel on Wednesday, where we will be covering something that I mentioned maybe 30 seconds ago.
The hot,
Maybe.
Yeah.
hot button issue.
Hot button issue.
Good one to kick off in front of a broader audience.
Yes,
I think.
exactly.
Perhaps. We'll see.
We'll see, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.